I think the first thing to know about Shingle Shake is that there are all different sorts of potential profiles and products that you can use. Everything from cedar individual shakes, Cedar Shake panels. Obviously, James Hardie makes a shake panel. They've got straight edge and staggered edge shake. You can get it in a composite wood formation. And they usually, you can even get it in vinyl. You can get vinyl shake, but they're always usually embossed with some sort of wood grain pattern to make it look like traditional cedar shakes. In more historic settings, they would come in, diamond profiles, scalloped profiles.
Also known as half round.
Half round, yeah. Which is not available very much anymore. If you're going to do a half round shake, it has to be hand cut frequently.
Octagon.
Sort of in the Victorian style homes. And if you're going to do one of those kind of homes, you're going to pay quite a bit, because we're probably going to have to get those as straight beveled shake and then cut it into the profile that we're trying to match. So we prefer to use the James Hardie's Hardie Shingle. Comes in two profiles, a straight edge, which is very Cape Cod looking type thing. All the shakes themselves are cut into different sizes. So
they have a true shadow line.
Yeah, they do.
So that's what I love. Like you see other brands of shake that are more of just a stamped, and so you can just tell it looks faux.
Right.
And I'm not crazy about those. But if it's got a true separation between each shingle, then those shadow lines really come out. And then when you drive by, you don't know if that's real shake that's been painted or if that's Hardie shake. It's just, it looks super real.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that they have variable sizes of shake, and then it's also variegated by the stagger depth on the staggered shake. Yeah, so it's as far as the James Hardie product is concerned, the Hardie Shingle has a really nice profile, and it looks very real. You can also get that stained in wood tone, right? So you can get a wood tone pre-finish in that, or in other substrates too. But
that came out like 2 months after I put my Cedar Shake up on the house.
The other thing about lots of people love the look of a natural cedar shake. We've talked about this before. There's sort of a maintenance nightmare with natural cedar, and so if you're doing individual hand-applied shakes, and if you want to make that staggered or put it in any special shape, they all have to be hand-nailed in a perfect position, the wall lined out, and then those are all beveled shakes, so it might be a ½ an inch thick at the bottom, and it runs up the wall anywhere from 8 to 12 inches. It has to be woven in, and then it is like milled down to almost nothing, so that by the time you start installing that shake, it is so split at the top that it's becoming unstable. So then it all has to be face nailed. So now we're making another board penetration on wood, and then it has to be finished, and it has to be finished with some sort of stain or solid body paint, which we don't paint. We like to stain our shake so that it can breathe. Now you've just locked yourself into a 2 to 3 year maintenance cycle, and but it can be really beautiful. We like to limit that if we're going to do it to like dormers and gables that are smaller, I would say. I think if I were going to describe shake to someone, the very first thing I would do is say, hey, have you seen those Cedar Shake shingles on someone's roof? Right? I think everybody's familiar with having seen those. Those can be applied to your wall. So instead of being on your roof, they're applied on your vertical surface, and
it's very. Do people say Cape Cod?
Yeah, it's a very
cottage.
Yes,
you see, cottages that are done with those on the wall.
In New England, it's all over in New England. So it's an individual piece of typically cedar board that is anywhere from 6 to 8 inches wide, and those are about 12 inches, 8 to 12 inches long, and they get layered or shingled one over the other the same way lap siding does, but on an individual basis. And so now there are products in the market that are designed to recreate that look. They're panelized, so they get put up in a big panel, and then those shakes, sort of those panels and those shake patterns overlap one another.